Years ago, when I was still living in Marion, I was doing a lot of gardening. I had 3 gardens over there. Definitely, my whole backyard was a garden, and this is just in my greenhouse, different seed starting, doing different ways. Because again, I had 3 different gardens and started a lot in there. And I've been thinking lately, the U.S. and lawns, and I remember friends and people in the fire department and conversations, especially the guys would have about kind of friendly competition with the neighborhood, neighbors to see who had the best lawn, who had the best grass, and how much of a lawn culture that we're into. And also, how much supposedly food insecurity there is and the price of healthy food and stuff like that. And, there were some people that would have backyard gardens and maybe a little competition, backyard gardens or front yard ornamental gardens. But here's the question. What if we combine those and we had front yard gardens? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like this right here, where you've got discrete beds, of potatoes and onions and stuff like that. Although, strawberries, I think that'd be fine, be cool. But what if we did edible landscaping? This is actually my front yard. And so I had a couple of magnolia trees here that when the tree service came through for the utilities, all these utility lines, and they'd, massacre the trees and stuff, I actually buttered them up when they were getting close. And when they got to my yard, they took down both magnolia trees completely. Rather than just cutting some limbs and coming back in a few years doing it again, they cut the whole thing down and left all the material by my request. I said, leave everything, and all the chipped up wood that's in the back of your truck, leave that too. And the stumps are actually of 2 magnolia trees are underneath this mound. And this was created with the chunks of the magnolia, the wood chips, some compost I had, and soil. And it's basically a small hugel bed. This one bed here, I had a sign in front of it. It was kind of an advertisement for the community garden because this is a very busy intersection. The school is about 2 blocks to the left going this direction. So there's a whole lot of traffic, school buses, kids walking by, cars going to and from school. And this is a major little street through this area of the town. So I was a busy intersection, lots of visibility. These T-posts here, if you see the wires, and these are fruit trees, and I'm trying to learn how to espalier. This espalier would do several things for me. One, it gets more food, more fruit trees in my property, puts them out in the front yard. It's also, I didn't get to stay there long enough to really get it fully fleshed out, but it would be ornamental, something kind of pretty. By doing it this way, I'm getting a lot of airflow, reducing fungal diseases. Horizontal limbs tend to fruit faster and better. Plus, it kind of creates a fence so that the kids, when they're walking to and from school, they don't cut through so close to the house through the yard. It forces them to go around a little bit. But you've got onions here, you've got fruit trees, you've got these things right here are asparagus, you've got strawberries, I've got other things growing in there. So again, asparagus, probably about the second or third year, it was my best asparagus out of the whole property. And you see the, postman right there. You can see the mushrooms starting to come up because this has been there for 2 or 3 years, and I did not inoculate this. I did not bring any spawn in or anything, so these are just plain old regular saprophytic mushrooms breaking down all this woody mass and creating more soil. This year, you see a whole lot. Also, this, by being in a horseshoe shape here, instead of the magnolias were obstructing the view of people coming up, so it was a safety issue. And the yard sloped kind of towards this corner. This also helped trap water from heavy rains and kept it from running into the street and going away. It helped infiltrate more water. So it served many functions. And you can see just how many mushrooms is there. And that is healthy. I don't want to get rid of that. This is good. I've got some beets that you see in here. And this is all food in the front yard. So imagine, and here's another fruit tree, and here's a fruit tree, and here's a fruit tree, and had a couple of Bing cherries that I put in over here. One year, you see all these wood chips here, because I had the tree services dropping wood chips multiple times a year. One year, this whole side area, I left enough for the kids to be able to walk off the street, but down this whole side yard was nothing but winter squash, butternut squash. This is Jerusalem artichokes, so these are edible. They're in the sunflower family, and also this is the west side of the house, the front door. And when I need it most, they grow up and they provide shade to keep the house cooler. This was a fruit tree, and I've got comfrey, and I've got jonquils around there, mulched with leaves that I get for free. This is actually in the backyard, so I had some thornless blackberries, I had my bees, I had henbit. But again, what if we had front yard edible landscaping and competition with our neighbors, not only for the prettiest, most ornamental, but the most amount of produce, the best tomatoes, the best lettuce, the best asparagus from our front yards? Just a thought.